Uber drive till 4 a.m. on weekends, go back to sleep, and then hit it again. And for all to have $100,000 in the bank when we open, because the number one reason why restaurants fail is they do not have enough financial cushion for when the wrong thing happens, because inevitably it will at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you compromise and you compromise and compromise.
What was the moment? Because I'm sure you had that moment when, like you were saying, it's slow. What's going to go on here?
Yeah.
What was that moment when you said, okay, we're going to make it?
Well, so we had to have the other moment first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we were losing $40,000 a month, right? Because that's what it costs to have a brigade, and your opening and your food cost is off, and like all these things. And we just weren't busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember vividly getting home after service one day and not being able to sleep, and waking up, really standing or sitting on the edge of the bed. And Allie, my wife, woke up and she said, "Are you okay?" And I, just turned and looked at her. I said, "No." Like, did I just ruin our lives? Is it good? She said, I think it's good. And you have to understand so she worked at the Nordic Food Lab. She's a master's in food anthropology. I respect her palate as much as really anyone in the world. So that means a lot to me, not just to my wife. And she tells it to me straight enough. So I said, okay, well, are we going to double down on it then? Because we're out of money. And she was like, yeah, which is what you need. So 3 a.m, we made a game plan to first sell my car, because we lived above the restaurant. So that was get us, at the time, I thought it was going to be worth $30,000, which would get us through at least another 2 weeks to make payroll. And then we would look at her 401k, which would get us, another 17,000 or so. And then we were going to get into, past this January time, which is really hard in Austin, where we're going to get a little bit into season, and that would float us enough to see what was happening. And so the next day I woke up, washed the car bright and early at, 6 a.m., took photos of it, and I listed it before I went into work.
What kind of car was it? Just
Well, so I left a really great job, right?
Yeah,
So I had a brand new Audi S4 that was now like 2 years old, right? Because I left a pretty cush gig where I was running 5 restaurants and I was a partner, and they were all crushed.
You probably love that car.
Oh, it's an amazing car. It's a manual. I only drive manual.
Yeah.
And we downsized. So my wife had like an old car because she didn't care about the stuff, and so that was what we ended up using. And I can remember Keith Rapecki, who's our corporate chef over Austin now, and is really into cars. We were at family meal when I ultimately sold the car, and I just walked outside. The guy looked at it, and I gave him the keys. He gave me the check, walked back inside, didn't say anything, went into service. Because you don't really want to be like, "Hey, I'm selling my car," and everyone's like, "Well, why?" And you're like, "Well, I got to make payroll."
Right.
Like, like you're a leader, you're a general. Like, you can't.
Don't let them see you sweat.
No, there's a form of that, but you don't want. If I'm following somebody who I know is failing, that doesn't feel like good career advice either.
Right.
And so there's this balance between this thing, right? There's this fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also this vulnerability in making sure that you're being real about these things, right? Everyone's going through this struggle. And so we sold the car. I paid off a lot of my credit card debt, which was all restaurant stuff.
Yeah.
And right around that time was when Kate Crater came in with Matthew Odom, and she had the Cacio. Like 3 weeks later, we found out that we won Food and Wine Best New Chef, which we couldn't tell anybody, right? And this, I think, at the time, we were the earliest restaurants have opened to win the award too, because we were open for like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to wait another 3 months or so.
So are you thinking, like, do we have enough money to?
Oh,
yeah. You're going to get the upside.
Well, I mean, you're in a cloud to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what happened is, and this is the great thing about distance to this, is now I can look back and I can see that with some seasonal changes, we went up 10% a week, right? For the course of 3/4 of a year.